safe on the floor tonight, Lord. I pray that everything we do would glorify you. And I just thank you for everything you've done for us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's varsity girls game. First up, the visitor, the Verona Lady Wildcats.
All right, starting lineups for the two squads. First, the Lady Wildcats.
Senior number 5, JC Carasquillo.
Carasquillo.
Number 13, senior.
Number 5, senior.
Number 20, freshman Sadie Martinez.
Senior number 13, Maggie Perez.
Number 24, senior Taylor Baker.
Freshman number 20, Sadie Martinez.
Senior Amy Ortega.
Number 24 is senior Taylor Baker. And number 33, senior Amy Ortega.
And now for your New Heights Cougars! 855 sophomore, number 2, Julia Sanchez. A 5'5" senior, number 3, Allie Stout.
Starters for the Cougars, number 2,
A 5'5"
sophomore
senior,
Julia
number 10,
Sanchez.
Jessalyn Beaver.
Number 3,
A 5'7"
senior Allie Stout.
Number 21, Carly Doris.
Number 10, senior Jessie Beaver.
5'9" senior,
Number 21, senior Carly Doris.
Lackey.
And number 32, senior Lillian Lackey. All right, let's get 8 minutes on the clock. And we're underway. Cougars win the possession. Cougars slow to act. Sanchez takes the 3. Too strong. Lillian Lackey on the backside gets the rebound. Off the bottom of the backboard. Rebound secured again by the Cougars, Allie Stout. Up top for Beaver. Cougars being deliberate in their set. Stout on the right side, waiting for action. Dribble handoff to Doris. Doris into the paint, rises up from 12 feet and puts it in. Cougars are on the board, 2-0. Lady Wildcats break the press. Ball thrown back to the top. Sanchez tightly defending, strips the ball away. Wildcats recover. Number 5, Carasquillo, all the way to the basket, but Doris is there to get the rebound. Outlet pass stolen away by the Wildcats. That was number 24, Baker. Baker takes a three-point shot, backside rebound by Ortega. Too strong, quick outlet by the Cougars. Sanchez to Beaver. Can't get it to fall, but Beaver's able to get a hand on it and knocked out of play. It will be Wildcats ball on the end line. Carasquillo all the way in. And traveling call on Carasquillo. Number 33, Ortega, had it down low, gave the pass to Carasquillo for the layup, but Carasquillo didn't get the dribble down. Beaver quickly up to Doris. Doris takes the 10-foot jump shot, but is short on that as Perez pulls down the rebound for the Wildcats. Number 24, Baker, all the way to the basket and puts it in to tie the game at 2. Cougars quickly out. Beaver to Stout. And a nice answer by the Cougars. Cougars so good at pushing in transition off a made basket by the opponent. Carasquillo gets to the basket. And foul called on the Wildcats, number 33, Ortega.
Foul's going to be on the Wildcats, number 33, Amy Ortega. That's her first personal and team first.
Wildcats in a token press as Beaver walks it up. Karskia defending on Beaver. Beaver, nice crossover dribble, gets into the paint, down low for Lackey. And Lackey off the glass, puts it in. Cougars leading 6-2. Baker coast to coast and puts it in to answer 6-4 the score.
Taylor Baker for 2.
Cougars quickly out. Nice job by Karskia. Couldn't see the ball, but put her hands in the passing lane and deflected it to get the steal in transition, out of bounds, knocked away by the Cougars. It will be the Wildcats' ball underneath. Baker tries to flip it into Perez, but she wasn't ready for it. Stolen away by Sanchez. Sanchez to Stout, back to Sanchez, and an easy basket for the Cougars. Beaver tightly defending. Karskia steps on the sideline. Turnover to the Cougars. Doris all alone. Gets it over to Stout for 3. And she nails it. All gets inbounding as the Cougars pick up full court press. Baker crosses. Doris goes for the steal. Baker's able to turn through it. All the way up to Sanchez. Loses the handle as she tries to outlet pass. Karskia able to save it. Wildcats into the offensive set. Taylor drives in, being defended by Stout, and Stout got a hand in there, gets called for the foul.
Foul's going to be on the Cougars, number 3, Allie Stout. That's her first personal and team first.
Lilaki subbing out as
Number 4, Ella Nelson.
Ellen Nelson checks in the game for the Cougars. Perez into the paint. Well defended by Doris. Nelson secures the ball out ahead to Stout. Bounce pass into Doris. And nice action by the Cougars. Pass ahead and then find the runner down the seam. Wildcats will take a timeout. Cheerleaders out in force tonight. Might have to find out from them later the t-shirt options. The 3 seniors in the front have t-shirts on, but they're different colors, so I don't know what that represents. All right, after the timeout, the made basket by the Cougars be inbounding for the Wildcats on the end line. Baker crossover dribble as Doris and Beaver press. Karskia passes ahead to Perez, but stolen away by Nelson. Good work by the Cougars as Beaver gets it to Doris for the easy left-handed layup. Cougars stay in the press. they're calling a kick there, but Karaskia is the one that kicked it, but it wasn't an intentional kick. Beaver slapped the ball away, and it hit off Karaskia's foot. But nonetheless, Wildcats retain the ball. Ball back up to Karaskia. Tough pass inside to Ortega, and the turnaround jump shot is good. Cougars quickly ahead. Beaver to Stout to Doris, and a great answer by the Cougars. So good in transition, making that secondary break. Baker gets it up to Karaskia. Three-point shot is good. Again, the Cougars pushing in transition. That time Stout tried to go for the pass. It wasn't there. Stolen away by Perez. Julia Sanchez for three. Rebound by Baker for the Wildcats. Ortega enters it in. Stolen away by Sanchez. Bounce pass to Nelson. Nelson ahead. Bounce pass into Beaver. And Jesse Beaver gets on the board on senior night with 2 points. 10-point lead for the Cougars. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Karaskia all the way into the front court. Sets up the action with the pass over to Ortega on the left wing. Ball to Baker. She couldn't handle it. Stolen away by Stout. Finds Beaver. Nice bounce pass again into Stout. And nice patient play by Beaver to find the easy option. Karaskia tries to break the press with the dribble. Ball deflected away. Beaver there. Nelson gets the loose ball out to Stout. Tough shot, and then Stout's out of bounds as she tries to recover the ball back to the Wildcats. Lily Lackey back in the game along with Truly Prater as Carly Doris and Julia Sanchez sub out for the Cougars.
And number 32, Lily Lackey.
Karaskia brings it into the front court for the Wildcats. Ortega holds on the left wing as Prater tightly defends. She has the count going, able to get it over to number 13, Perez. Perez picks up her dribble, still being defended by Prater. Tough pass in by Meyer, stolen away by the Cougars. And Allie Stout, nice finish at the glass. Cougars extend the lead 23-9. Karaskia back to the front court, three-point shot, air ball. Lily Lackey there to get the rebound. Beaver being defended, able to back dribble to get off pressure. Beaver sets it up at the top. Karaskia goes for the steal. Three-pointer in the corner by Prater. Lily Lackey there for the offensive rebound. Fight for the ball, and that does it for the first quarter. So after 8 minutes, Lady Cougars leading 23-9. right, ready for the start of the second quarter. The Wildcats have the arrow. Carrasquillo gets it into Baker. Julia Sanchez able to get in there and tie her up, and that is the Cougars' arrow. Jesse Beaver over to Stout, wide open on the right wing. Decides not to take the shot, hand off to Doris. Doris into the paint, bounce pass down low for Lackey, and off her foot, out of bounds, back to the Wildcats. Maybe a little too unselfish there by Doris, as looked like she had a 10-footer if she wanted it. Ortega inside to Perez. Perez turns, shoots, and scores, and she'll go to the line for the and one. Take a look on replay as Perez gets into the paint. Doris defending. Perez able to convert the three-point play. Cougars quickly out to Stout. Doris for three in the corner. Rebound pulled down by number 23 Myers, but dangerous pass. Wildcats able to secure it. Carrasquillo over to Myers. Up top for Perez as the Wildcats slow it down. Floater shot by Carrasquillo goes off the mark. Offense rebound by the Wildcats. And foul called underneath on, I believe that's going to go against Lackey. Yes, it does. Inbound underneath for the Wildcats.
That's her first personal and team second.
Perez gets it to Carrasquillo for three, and she hits it. Beaver ahead to Stout, too strong on the 10-footer. Sanchez gets in there to tie her up, but gets called for the foul.
Foul's going on the Cougars, number 2, Julia Sanchez. That's her first personal and team third.
Ortega on the left wing over to Myers. Cougars in a man defense, it looks like. Sanchez on Carrasquillo. Ball screen, long three, and hits the net, but doesn't get the rim. Out of bounds back to the Cougars. Beaver walking it up. Stout open on the right side. Wildcats in a congested 2-3 zone. Stout wants the three from the corner, and she got it. Cougars now with an 11-point lead. Ortega into Perez. Perez trying to get to the basket. Stout stays in front. Perez gets a little positioning as Stout flies back. And Perez scores the goal. Coach Blankenship wants timeout. Awarded an extra point there by mistake on this last play. 26-17 is the score. After the timeout, Beaver has the ball, jogging into the front court for the Cougars. Doris, nice high-low to Nelson, and she puts it in for the and one opportunity. Let's take a look at that on replay. Doris flashes to the top of the key. Good timing by Nelson to make the cut, and Doris finds her with a little split there. Recovery foul by the Wildcats. Nelson at the line for the and one attempt. Beaver sneaks in for the offensive rebound. Doris with another attempt. Doris able to slap it back out to reset as Allie Stout recovers. Doris from 15. Ellen Nelson gets the offensive rebound, can't put it away. And Ortega pulls down the rebound, but Sanchez sneaks in there, ties her up. Jump ball, Wildcats have the arrow. Doris picking up in full court. Carrasquillo, nice crossover dribble to get through the first set of hands. Nothing coming of it though as she gets it back to Perez. Out to Ortega on the left wing. Up top for number 20, that's Martinez. Martinez goes for the dribble handoff. Beaver there to deflect. Beaver reaches it and steals it away from Carrasquillo, and Carrasquillo fouls Beaver on the left-handed layup attempt. Jesse Beaver will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Foul's going to be on the Wildcats. Number 5, J.C. Carrasquillo. That's her first personal and team second. Beaver at the line, shooting 2.
Beaver good on the first.
24, Taylor Beaver.
Too strong on the second. Doris taps it to Nelson, and the Cougars still able to convert offensive rebound off the missed free throw into 2 points. Such a valuable part of the game is to get offensive rebounds off of missed free throws. Watch the BYU-Arizona game. BYU almost came back off 2 consecutive offensive rebounds off missed free throws to get back into that game against Arizona. Offensive foul called on Perez for the push-off.
Foul's going to be on the Wildcats. Number 13, Maggie Perez.
Turnover back to the Cougars. 31-17, 4:20 to play here in the second quarter. Doris at the elbow. Back to Beaver for 3. Sanchez flies in, gets the offensive rebound. Back to Doris. Doris to the key. Ball deflected by Carrasquillo, and Wildcats are able to get the turnover. Beaver again with the aggressive hands, deflects the ball away. Myers on the floor, didn't know what to do. Beaver rips it away. Ahead to Stout. Stout with on the left side, too strong, gets her own rebound, and gets fouled as she goes up. She'll go to the line for 2 free throws of her own.
Foul's going to be on the Wildcats. Number 20, Stephanie Martinez. That's her first personal and team 4. Stout at the line, shooting 2.
Stout good on the first.
Checking in for the Wildcats, number 33, Amy Ortega.
Nelson flies in for the second, but gets called for the push in the back. That's the 4th team foul
That's her first personal.
on the Cougars. Each team with 4, so bonus free throws the rest of the second quarter. Stout checking out of the game as Jenna Quaddy checks in. Casquillo turns through the traffic. Wild shot. Nelson there to recover. Looking for the outlet. Baseball pass ahead to Doris. Sanchez gets a chance, and Quaddy follows. Jenna Quaddy gets the basket. Wild pass. Nelson chasing for it, and kick ball called.
Checking into the Cougars, number 5, Truly Prater.
All right, ball back to the Wildcats. Prater in the game now. Baker dribbling. Perez on that left wing spot. Quaddy gets a hand on it but can't secure the jump ball. Back up top to Myers. Foul called on Prater on the aggressive defense. That will put Baker at the line for 2 free throws.
That's her first personal and 15 foul.
Baker good on the first free throw. Stout checking back in the game as Beaver gets a break. Stout has 13 points on the night. Second one is no good as Nelson pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Stout's throwing it up. Gets across the timeline. Pass over to Doris on the right wing. Nelson at the elbow. High low to Quaddy. Quaddy's there a little too strong off the rim. And out of bounds back to the Wildcats. Good use of the backboard, just a little too strong. Hit the front of the rim on the ricochet off the backboard. Casquillo over to Ortega in her familiar left wing position. She goes for the three-pointer, and she nails it. Wildcats down by 13. Doris wants to answer. Backside rebound. Prater's able to save it, but nobody's there, and it goes out of bounds. Back to the Wildcats. Looks like that was actually ruled a two-pointer. 34-20 the score. Number 20, Martinez. Doris slaps the ball away. Quaddy comes in and gets the steal. Punches it up to Doris. Doris with the left and in for 2. Ortega on the left, waiting for the action. Three-pointer by Carrasquillo. Air ball as Nelson secures it up ahead to Doris. Doris again, nice move, gets to the basket. Carrasquillo, crossover dribble. Off of Stout's foot and able to be recovered in the backcourt by Carrasquillo. Tough pass in, deflected away. Quaddy gets on the floor to try to save it, but out of bounds on the end line. Wildcats ball to inbound. 38 seconds on the official clock. Carrasquillo inbounding for the Wildcats into Ortega, and Nelson gets the big block. Nelson in transition actually That's the 5th team foul, so Nelson will get 2 free throws.
Nelson on the line shooting 2. Checking in for the Cougars, number 2, Julia Sanchez.
Nelson made the first free throw. And good on the second as well.
Checking in for the Cougars, number 32, Lily Lackey.
20-point lead now for the Cougars. Lily Lackey checking back in the game as Nelson subs out. Carrasquillo into the front court. Over to Ortega on the left wing. Myers at the top. Doris steps up to pick her up. Ortega back on the left wing. Doris again. Ball over to Myers at the elbow. Quaddy reaches in and able to tie her up. And Cougars have the jump ball arrow. 14 seconds left in the first half. Cougars inbounding. Beaver over to Doris for 3. And she gets it. And that will do it for the first half. Carly Doris finishes strong. Now with 15 points on the night. All right, we'll take an audio break here, send you through the first half recap, and be back for the second half of the girls' varsity action. All right, we're back for the start of the second half. Wildcats with the arrow. Ball stolen away by the Cougars. Sanchez out ahead. Strong off the glass, deflected out of bounds by number 20 Martinez for the Wildcats. And the Cougars will get the ball underneath. Beaver inbounding for the Cougars. Stout in the corner for three. Rims around and out. Doris gets a hand on it. Beaver gets the offensive rebound. Back to the top to Stout. Over to Sanchez on the left wing for three. Beaver there on the backside for the rebound. Forces the pass inside, deflected away by the foot of Ortega. And will stay Cougars ball underneath. Beaver into the corner for Stout. Back up top to Doris. Into the corner for Beaver. Doris at the elbow. And jump ball is called. Will stay Cougars ball. Ball into Lackey. Good shot from about 8 foot, but doesn't fall, and rebound to the Wildcats. Carrasquillo, long three from the right side, and she nails it.
JC Carrasquillo for three. Timeout Cougars.
Cougars want a timeout.
Second timeout.
JC Carrasquillo, the senior number 5, now with 9 points. After the timeout, the Cougars inbounding. Beaver jogs it up the middle of the court. Pass over to Sanchez on the left wing. Doris to the elbow, Beaver to the corner. Back to Doris. Backdoor cut by Stout. Back to the far corner for Beaver. And three-point shot, rebound pulled down by Ortega for the Wildcats. Carrasquillo, one of the three. Sanchez closes out on her. Ball into Perez at the keep, picks it up from 10 foot. Lackey denies. Martinez gets it to Carrasquillo over her head. Beaver slaps it away, and ball will stay Wildcats on the inbound. That's Baker being defended by Stout. Back to Martinez. Hand off to Carrasquillo. Spins into her own player. Left-handed pass to Ortega, back to Carrasquillo for three, and she got it again.
JC Carrasquillo for three.
Beaver quickly out ahead. Good entry by Stout into Doris. And the Cougars are automatic at that quick transition off the made basket. Baker gets all the way to the basket, but can't finish. Cougars quickly out. Stout all the way ahead, and Stout in transition answers. That's enough for the Wildcats to want a timeout. Take a look at that coast-to-coast play by the Cougars as Beaver pulls down the rebound. Gets it out to Stout. Stout just out-races the Wildcats all the way in. Probably could have been a foul as she slapped down on her. Stout has 15 on the night. Doris has 17. after the timeout. The Wildcats will inbound on the end line. Carrasquillo with the dribble. Beaver defending. Ball screen action by Myers. Carrasquillo with the backdoor pass deflected by Doris. But Perez is able to recover it and get the basket. Pass ahead deflected by the Wildcats. Out of bounds with will stay Cougars ball. Entered into Beaver at the top. Wildcats stay in that 2-3 zone. Sanchez over to Stout in the far corner for three. Doris there gets the offensive rebound. Back to Sanchez on the left wing. Tightly defended by Baker. Gets it over to Beaver with the step through. Rebound pulled down by Ortega. Beaver gets a hand on it and able to tie her up for the jump ball. Wildcats have the arrow. Carrasquillo down the left side. Doris comes to help. Beaver gets a hand on the ball and jump ball. This time it's the Cougars. Beaver sees an opening, gets it ahead to Stout. Tries the quick pass into Doris. That was interesting. They went for the transition play even though the Wildcats were set in their 2-3 zone. Just a little bit too hot for Doris to handle and turned over back to the Wildcats. Myers at the top of the key. Doris reads the pass and steals. Doris out running. Up ahead to Sanchez. Short, but Lackey's there to follow and puts it in. Lily Lackey scores the basket. Jump shot by Wildcats. Lackey pulls down the rebound. Nice outlet to Stout. Beaver on the follow. Beaver now with 5 points on the night. Three-pointer by Amy Ortega banks it in. Cougars quickly out running. Carrasquillo steps out of bounds before reestablishing. Actually, I think she was the first to touch coming back in. Nelson to Doris for three. Myers fights for the rebound. Quaddy's able to hustle and track it down. Stout into the corner for Beaver. She wants the three, and she got it. Beaver now with 8 points. Ball down low to Ortega. Too easy for the Wildcats. Beaver pushing it out ahead, gets it to Doris. Big block by Carrasquillo. All the way to the basket, draws the foul on Beaver. Almost got it to fall. She'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Carrasquillo gets the first one to fall. Back to a 20-point lead for the Cougars. Stout subs out of the game as Truly Prater checks in. J.C. Carrasquillo at the line. Makes both free throws, now has 14 on the night. Number 20, Sadie Martinez at the table to check in. She'll sub in for Taylor Baker. Just 6 players for the Wildcats. Beaver slows it up. Across the timeline as she talks to Coach B about the action. Nelson to Doris, back to Beaver. Rises from 10 feet. Too strong. Nelson comes in for the offensive rebound. Backside rebound by Doris. Goes for the tip drill. And out of bounds back to the Wildcats.
Checking in for the Cougars, number 3, Allie Stout.
Stout, after a quick break, checks in for Beaver. Carrasquillo across the timeline. Screen by Myers. Thought about the 3. Prater comes to close out. Martinez back to Carrasquillo. Down low again. Backside for Ortega. Cougars need to clean that up. Losing that back block. Stout quickly head to Doris. Back to Stout at the top for 3. And she got it. Allie Stout good for another 3-pointer now with 18 points on the night. Carrasquillo looking for Ortega again. This time it's not there, and pass out of bounds. Back to the Wildcats, 20-point lead, 1:10 remaining in the third quarter. Sanchez checking in for Doris. Stout dribbles ahead, gets it into Nelson at the top of the key, and travel called. Of course, that's the famous you can't travel if you don't have control of the ball. So Nelson did shuffle her feet, but she was bobbling the ball, which is not a travel. Carrasquillo for the long 3 off the backboard. Nelson pulls down the rebound. Stout quickly out to Quaddy. Quaddy races it down, gets to 10 feet, and nails the jumper. Carrasquillo again down low. And that's number 13, Perez. 2 chances at the rim. Can't get it to fall. 13 Perez has 11 points. Good ball control by Allie Stout as Carrasquillo went for the steal. Ends up committing the foul. 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Into the corner, Sanchez wants the 3. Long rebound to Prater. Out to Stout, 5 seconds to play. Up top to Sanchez, should go again. And that does it for the third quarter. Cougars with a 22-point lead. All right, Cougars have the arrow to start the fourth quarter. Doris, Beaver, Stout, Lackey, and Nelson in the game. Fourth quarter underway. Beaver over to Stout. Quick three. Beaver gets the backside rebound. Back to Nelson on the right side. Nelson rises up from 10 feet and nails the jumper. Baker brings it up for the Wildcats, but a ball screen by Ortega gets called for the offensive foul. Beaver ahead. Into Stout in the paint, tied up. Ball goes to the Wildcats on the arrow. Baker again brings it into the front court for the Wildcats. Gets all the way to the basket, scoop shot, foul called on Nelson for the block.
Foul's going to be on the Cougars, number 4, Ella Nelson. That's her second personal and team first. Baker at the line, shooting 2.
Baker good on the first. Rims around and out on the second. Beaver with the rebound into the quick transition. Into the corner for Stout for 3. And she got it. Allie Stout with another 3-pointer, and now with 21 points on the night. Ortega at the top. Into Perez. Tightly defended by Doris. Nelson gets the loose ball. All the way to the basket, and Nelson scores it. Baker, aggressive on the ball. Gets it to Carrasquillo. Too strong off the glass, able to recover her own rebound. Back up top. And ball deflected away by Lackey. I believe it will stay Wildcats ball. Ball into Martinez. Doris defending. Dribble handoff to Carrasquillo. Finds an angle to get the shot off. Rebound by Ortega. Too strong off the glass. Beaver gets the rebound. Beaver jogs it into the front court. Looks for the high-low into Lackey. Stout gets it back to Lackey, and she puts it in for 2. Foul called on Lackey. Baker back to the line for 2 free throws.
Checking in for the Wildcats, number 13, Maggie Perez. And checking in for the Cougars, number 2, Julie Sanchez.
Good on the second. Stout wants 3 from the corner. Doris with the offensive rebound. Turns and deflected away by the Wildcats, will stay Cougars ball. Missed a restart there, 4:32 on the official clock. Ball into Sanchez. Oh, Beaver got a hand on it just enough to knock it off of the easy steal for Martinez and knocked out of bounds to the Cougars. Beaver gets it into Doris at the elbow. Doris resets. Ball slapped out by Ortega. Back to Doris. Through traffic with the left. Ping ball around. Baker's able to bring it down. Baker to the basket. Ortega gets the offensive rebound and jump ball. Cougars have the arrow. 4:07 on the official clock. Beaver to Stout into the corner for Doris. Doris for three, and it's good. (71-39). Doris gets the rebound, gets tied up, foul called.
Foul's going to be on the Wildcats, number 13, Maggie Perez. That's her third personal.
Called on Perez. Beaver too strong. Rebound pulled down by Perez. I'm sorry, by Perez. Carrasquillo up ahead. Crossover dribble. Long three off the front of the rim. Lackey, nice job rising up to get the rebound. Quick outlet to Beaver. Beaver to the block. Turns and floats it in. And 2:30 remaining in this varsity girls action. Martinez too strong. Doris finds Stout out running. Bounce into Lackey and she gets fouled. And we're in a running clock now as Lily Lackey will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Foul's going to be on the Wildcats, number 5, JC Carrasquillo. That's her third personal and team third. Lackey at the line, shooting 2. A pride of Cougars has entered the court.
Shirley Prater, Jenna Quaddy, and Emily Heltzo into the game for the Cougars. Quaddy fights for the rebound, falls to Carrasquillo. Quickly out ahead, just too high over the hands of Perez. And ball back to the Cougars with 1:20 to play. Lakin Lawrence now in the game as well. Julia Sanchez also subbed in. Prater gets to Sanchez in the corner, back to Prater. Prater from 15 off the glass and in. And a nice finish by Julie Prater. Skip pass across to Baker for 3. Backside rebound by Sanchez. Out ahead to Hetzel, but too far ahead. And back to the Wildcats. Carrasquillo kicks it back up to the top for Ortega for 3. Hard off the glass. Sanchez able to secure it, gets it out to Quaddy. Quaddy all the way in and dribbles it back out to finish out the game. Cougars will hold the ball to the final horn. That's a final here for the Lady Cougars, 75-39 victory. Nice night on senior night. All the senior girls with really nice production. All right, we'll send you through the second half recap of this game. Then we will close out this stream and open up a new stream for the varsity boys. Looks like it's right on schedule to start about 8 p.m.